Before I explain the craziness that just happened, I am Mr. Timberly, and these are our 5th grade band students this year. Thank you for coming out for our first ever concert. It's a really cool time where we get to share all the progress we've made in 3 months and talk about all the things we've been working on. So what we just did kind of shows where we start when we play our instruments. So starting with those smaller pieces. For flute, we have our head joint and getting a sound on that. For clarinets, the mouthpiece and barrel. For the saxophones, the mouthpiece and headpiece. And then we saw our brass with their mouthpieces, which sometimes it sounds kind of like a duck call almost, so some people around here are like, yeah, duck call. And then percussion back there, making sure they're holding their sticks and mouths with good technique. And so this is where we start. And then as we go through the year, we start to add notes, we start to add rhythm. And so what we do, we're gonna do our warm-up, which shows our first 5 notes that we've learned on our instrument. And those are most of the notes we're gonna use for our concert tonight. There is a 6th one, that we will also use as well for some of our later songs. But here is our warm-up that uses our first 5 notes on our instrument. We're going to play 4 songs. There's not going to be a ton of time in between, but you can by all means feel free to clap. But what will happen is we'll play each of the next 4 songs all together. And then you can see in parentheses in the program where a different section or 2 will play the song again by themselves. So we can kind of hear the different instruments. But all of these songs start to put some of those first 5 notes together. So Hot Cross Buns, classic, uses 3 of those notes. Rain Rain adds 2 more. And then we have Go Tell Aunt Brody, and the other songs are going to add all 5 together. So we're going to start with Hot Cross Buns, which will be played again by our trumpets. Then we'll go to Rain Rain, which is going to be played again by our baritone and trombones. Then we'll go to Go Tell Aunt Brody, which is played by our saxophone and horn player. And then we'll finish it out with Merrily We Roll On, or Mary Had a Little Lamb, which will be flutes and clarinets. Now you might be saying, you forgot percussion. They have their song a little bit later, so we'll get to that in a moment. But here are our 4 of our first songs that we learned on our instrument. We got to hear from each section a little bit. We'll hear percussion in a moment. Before we get there, we have 4 more songs that we've been working on out of our book. And the last 2 of them use our 6th note, and then the last one of that as well, London Bridge, is actually a duet. So we have 2 different parts going at once. So we have trombones and baritones playing the B line, so a lower part, and then the rest of them are playing a higher part. I think we also have snare drum, bass drum back there playing something a little bit different. But we get to see as we get better, get more confidence, we can start to become more independent with our playing. And eventually we'll have a song that we'll end with where everybody kind of has their own part. Each instrument has their own thing. So we're slowly building up those skills. I know I don't really think you talked about this yet, but usually in the spring, we do 3 songs that are that full page song with different parts. That sounds kind of crazy. So we'll get there in time, but we got to start somewhere, right? So the next songs we have All La Rueda, Good King Wenceslas, which will get us kind of in that holiday spirit that's coming up later in about a month. And then Camptown Races and London Bridge are our next 4 songs.
Ballophone, which is an original song by Walt Hampton. I think I talk about this every year, so if you've heard this before, sit through it again. When I was student teaching, I worked with a guy named John Schofield, who was a teacher in like Lincoln Public Schools down in Nebraska for like 30 plus years. And he had these songs that he would work with them on, and like, hey, we're trying to get used to looking at the mount instruments and knowing the different notes. And this was one of the songs he did, and so I've done this one or a different one basically every year. This is my 10th year, and it's, I don't know, I think kids usually enjoy playing percussion. They get to play different songs on there. So we're gonna play Ballophone, which will feature our percussionists. So we've gone from craziness to 5 notes to unison songs to duets and a trio, and now we're gonna play a version of Odes to Joy or Beethoven's Ninth, which is gonna have a flute part, a clarinet part, a saxophone part, a trumpet, trombone, baritone, and percussion and horn that has all sorts of stuff going on. So we're gonna focus on keeping track of our beat and keeping everything going. But before we do that, I wanna thank you again for being here, supporting these kids. I know it can be a lot to deal with when they're starting to learn an instrument. I know it could be a challenge to make sure, hey, we have to get the instrument, we have to have a book, they have to have a way to they can work on it, and then they still have to deal with me every single day. But it's really a joy to share time with them. I hope they know how much I enjoy them. I know sometimes I might be a little grumpy. Am I a grumpy? That's good. They've been a really great group to work with. They are very respectful, always doing what they can to get better, and I appreciate that, and I know a lot of that comes from the support that they have with you guys too. So thank you for that. As it says in the program, thank you to administrators, custodial staff for making sure that things like this are possible. The high school choir and Mr. Microsoft helped us move the chairs and stuff in here so we can practice this afternoon, which was also like a change because usually we're Tuesday, Thursday, and we had to do it on Monday. Kind of threw some of us off, but it helps us get more confidence we're going into tonight. And then finally, Ms. Barber, this is her classroom, and we're actually using it. So I just threw that in the program as well. Thank you to her for letting us use this space as we're going through. So, are we tired of hearing me talk? I'm going to try to get it so I don't talk as much when we have later concerts, which are also on the back side of the program along with the kids' names. So if you're looking for other performances that are coming up, jazz band, concert band, choir, all that kind of stuff, elementary stuff, which is going to be awesome. This is my 10th year of hearing Holiday Lights. That's coming up pretty soon, but we're going to play Beethoven's Ninth. Thank you again. Thanksgiving.